Hello, welcome. My name is Brian, and I do sometimes some knife reviews, not necessarily reviews, but just showing off the knives. I am not a big knife reviewer, but I think it's helpful because I buy some knives that are popular and later in time, and buy them later in time, and then people that are like me and buying them later. After they've been popular and they want to see current videos. So that's what I'm going to do today. The knife that I just bought that I'm excited about is a Spyderco, but let me just touch base with you on my collection that I have and just give you a kind of an idea of what I, how I go about things. But let me start out by also saying too, I have some knives with the higher end blade steel, that are $150 to $250. And it's easy to be a little snobbish, and I'm not buying a cheap knife or a lesser expensive slightly lower quality knife, but I bought more of the $200 knives, and I just don't use them, and they sit on my desk a lot, so or on a display in a display case, and so I don't even get to take advantage of that more expensive steel. And then too, if you buy a budget steel and it's done right, it can be a good steel, and then you can sharpen, put your own edge on it. Here's what I bought today, and it harkens back to a budget knife. It is the Emphasis, the Spyderco Emphasis. Let me just say, yeah, it's not a high grade steel, but me getting less away from being snobby, knife snobbiness. If a blade, a lower steel is done right and, heat treated right, it can hold an edge a lot better than one that is a cheap, a knife that does not have the best of heat treating and blade geometry. I'm really excited about this knife because I went to my local Army Navy store, and they have over $100,000 in knives sitting in their counter. And they had one of these, and I didn't know what blade steel it has, and I was like, show me that one, because I just wanted to get a knife that wasn't $200. This was a little bit more expensive today, June 2022, so this was like $63. And 2 years ago they were $45, $50, but let me just share with you the reason why I got this one, because I educated myself online, and this one has the bronze phosphor bushings in it. I looked in there with a flashlight, and this knife has that option. A lot of these knives that are being sold have the plastic washers. Now, washers can be had for like $5 or $6, but to get it with the knife made this a great deal and a bargain to get, even though it's a little more expensive in 2022. Blade lockup, I don't know. I'm not super, put too much thought into that, but it's good. Overall, the blade grind looks fairly decent. It's not super high on one side and low on the other. Is it perfect? No, probably not, but this is a awesome knife. And compared to I wanted to get a little bit bigger knife nowadays, because we are headed into kind of the times that we're in, and I could carry a gun because I live in Texas, and I do have a pistol that I can carry, and I got my concealed handgun, not the actual license, but I took the class and just didn't go through with getting the actual license, but carry a knife in case I need to protect myself, and a little bit longer versus a blade that's a little bit smaller. A bigger blade will actually do more damage, and so and go in if you have to. In the worst case scenario, actually use it. A bigger blade and a bigger handle is going to be a better advantage. So I just wanted to get something like this, but I will take this apart and just show you that it's got the bronze phosphorus washers in there, and this makes this knife kind of a unicorn. The Army Navy store stocks knives that they bought maybe a year ago, and they buy them maybe 10 of them, and they don't sell them, super fast, because, people don't go in, typically that live, in the neighborhood and buy, $70 to, $150 knives. It's the specialty people that go in. But this is a really great knife. I love the extra weight, and I, might polish it up and do some things to, fine tune it, take it apart and oil it, clean it, polish the bushings, make sure it's centering good. But I just wanted to bring this video to people that may be wanting to see about this knife in 2022 version. And you may not be as lucky to get the the bronze phosphorus washers, and you will probably get plastic washers. And so I would not have bought this knife if it had the plastic washers in there. But when I saw that it had that, I was like, yeah, I'm going to take it. It's a great knife. It's a Spyderco. And then I like the pocket clip on here, just like my Capara. And I really like these. I didn't think I would like these pocket clips, but they are very, very cool and work very, very well, and they're lightweight, and I'm a fan of them. So bonus on this knife. But other than that, I'm going to take it apart and include you in on that video. Alright, so I'm not a super duper knife crazy guru that uses all these specialty tools. Go to my description and buy my tools. But just a craftsman, and I'm just going to use it to take out the pivot. It's a T8. Hopefully I don't strip it. It's not the super tightest fitting T8 in there, but hopefully I'm right. I used a little flashlight to look in there and get the appearance at the washers before I bought it, and it appeared to have the phosphorus bronze washers. I want to be careful and not cut myself. I hope everyone's doing well and their holiday went well. I don't have high hopes for June, July of 2022. Gas prices are pretty dang expensive. $5 for me because I got a turbo car and I got to use super unleaded fuel, and so that's just a few cents of $5 short of $5. So let me take this. I don't think I have to remove the maybe I do remove the clip. Yeah, but getting back to that, woo, gas is super expensive. Put that over there. Alright, we should be able just to pull this off. And there's the scale. I'm going to put that on my right side. Pull this up carefully. Put this over here on my right side with my scale. Phosphorus bronze washers, nice. Let me take this out. This one's going to go on that side. It's good to keep track of on what side they were. I'm likely going to polish these up. And well, anyways, there it is. You can see it. Let me tilt the camera so you get the glare off of it. And I may go in and I'm going to polish my liners. I'm going to polish them up, just because I like to do that, make them really bright and shiny, and kind of round the edges a little bit. Just that's what I do. And then I'm gonna probably take this backspacer. I like this backspacer, and I kind of like a little bit extra weight, so I may mill some off or mill some holes in it. We'll see whatever I do, just to lighten it up just a little bit and just put my spin on it. But there's that. Looks pretty cool. No oil on it really. And then I will also too, like in a firearm or a pistol, you polish the feed ramp. I'm going to polish this up really to a high luster, and then polish my bushings that I have done in other videos, and put it back together and lube it with some decent lube that I've just chosen, my little lube. And man, this should work very nice and be a very good knife for the future. Okay. All right, so here is the knife after I've cleaned it up and polished it, and it was actually pretty dirty, pretty grimy, and everything was really dulled, the surfaces. And so you can see now that I have attempted to put a more high polish, and there's the bearings, or the bushings, actually bushings, sorry. And I've cleaned up and polished everything. So the back spacer looks really polished, and the liners got polished, and then the bushings will, the phosphor bushings will interact with the blade, so that's much more polished, and a flat surface, you know, smooth for everything to you know, slide up against and have as little friction possible. Alright, just to wrap this video up, I've cleaned the knife and everything has been slightly polished up over what it was, but you can see here, this is the knife after it's been cleaned and put back together. I actually just share with you when it's closed, the blade centering. Let's see if I can exhibit that to you. That's going to be hard to see precisely if you weren't here right in front of the knife with you, you know, with it in your hand. But what I did it was a little off, and what I did is I just took the Spyderco material that came in the box, I folded it up in a couple of layers, and I just put it in, inserted into the side that was over towards you know, one side a little bit more than the other, and left it overnight. And it you know, I don't know how that works, you know, but it just forces it kind of back into better centering. If you want to try that, you can try loosening the pivot. The pivot on this can't be tightened too much, or this really gets tight. You know, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So this has to be relatively loose, you know, it can't be torqued down, but everything else is torqued pretty good, you know, with a fair amount of torque, you know, tightened down. So you know, that is what it is. But this is the Spyderco Emphasis, and that's the video. So thanks for viewing. Have a great day. And catch me on a future knife video, or Surron, or reptile video. Alright, bye-bye. I want to just share with you real quick what my other knife, you know, what's in my knife collection here. I got a Microtech UTX 85. I got a ZT 0450 CF. I've got a Gale Bradley, a Spyderco Gale Bradley 2. I've got my Spyderco Shaman, and then I've got my Spyderco Capara. Here I've got my Enzo Burke Scandi SV30 knife, and then I've got my Boker Mini Quaken with the titanium handles. Here I've got my Benchmade with linen micarta handles added to it, the HG 550 Griptilian, and here I have the Benchmade 4A. All right, here are some budget knives that I managed to hang on to and like, and probably never would get rid of. And actually the quality of these knives is very high. Fit and finish is excellent. So, you know, it's just the difference between being, you know, someone that likes to spend more money on their knives and someone that likes quality knives and doesn't want to spend a lot of money on their knives. But this is the QSP, and I can't remember the actual name of this knife right at the minute, but this is a stellar knife. This is a D2 blade steel. It's awesome. And then here's the Kershaw Injection. Pretty cool knife. I kind of wish I had the bigger, longer version of the blade. And this is the Kershaw Zing, kind of a limited edition with the machined blade, which is unique. So I got this pretty cheap, but these are all excellent knives. And this is kind of where I'm wanting to get back, is into the budget knives, but still high quality and high fit and finish. So perfect that I got the Emphasis and with a lower quality blade steel, but still an excellent knife, and Spyderco heritage and geometry of the blade. So, yep, that's it.